So I'm joined here by former Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal AY Tipnis, who commanded the Indian Air Force during the Kargil War. Sir, how significant are these airstrikes for the nation and the armed forces?
I think it's very, very significant. It indicates a change in our stance, that we are not going to continue to suffer under unmindful warlike attacks against us, which others call terrorist attacks, and we sometimes mistakenly refer to them as terrorist attacks. These are warlike attacks that Pakistan perpetrates on us in the guise of terrorist attacks. It's just a medium that is terrorist attacks.
Right.
And we have to hit how we can best is possible for us. And you have to hit them hard.
Right, sir.
And so it shows that there is a change in attitude, there is a change of policy.
Right, sir.
And bringing in the Air Force into action is, I think, a very, very significant change in our stance.
So, as you pointed out, that because this is for the first time since 1971 that India has used air power and crossed LOC, Indian Air Force has crossed LOC. So, how do you see this assertive new India? How are we now out of defensive mode?
Well, I don't think defensive means we are certainly. I would say we are out of acceptance nonsense.
All right, sir.
But I don't think we have gone proactive to do things without being instigated.
Right,
I don't think we have any intention of starting something, but we are certainly have every intention. The mindset is now that if you hit me, I'll hit you twice as hard, if not harder, as we have done this time. Now, I don't know how accurate our intelligence reports are, because the after attack intelligence is as important as the intelligence before the attack for it to be successful.
Right, sir.
Because it's one of the one of the actions of any armed attack,
Right,
that
sir.
you want to know what exactly is the extent of your damage. Now, it's no point doing aerial photography at that place, because it will tell you only what is the superficial damage.
Right, sir.
But unless you have done it instantaneously, then and you can see the bodies lying on the ground or whatever.
Right.
So if that is possible, nothing like it. That there have been instances where you actually see the thing immediately. But if you do it immediately, then because of the smoke and all the debris that is flying up in the air,
Right.
a photo view of that will not be possible. So one waits for the mud to settle down before you
Right.
take a view again.
Right,
But
sir.
now that once they are, but of course we have the satellite technology also.
Right, sir.
So I don't know how much of satellite technology has been utilized,
Hmm.
both before the attack and after the attack. But certainly for in this case where you want real-time actionable intelligence, which means that it's not only hitting a spot, which is sometime or the other occupied, but you want to know that they are actually occupied by people who want to eradicate. You don't want armed army there.
Right.
Because one of the issues about all these actions are that you want to, under all circumstances, avoid collateral damage. Collateral damage means
Right.
damage that was not intended.
Right, right.
So you just want to make sure my aim was, okay, to destroy the ammunition there or destroy the weapons there or annihilate the people there. But these people, who are they? Are they at that time? So it is very important that it's not only the attacks are accurate, but they are timely.
Right, sir.
And we can't base it on intelligence even 2 hours late, 2 hours old. It has to be at that time. Hey, these guys are here now. Hit them.
Right.
So we have seen some of these videos of American guys. They are on standing patrol, and they know these guys are going. And he said, "Okay, now I have got intelligence. This convoy is traveling. The third vehicle in that convoy is this guy. That's the guy you have to hit." And you hit them like that. So if our intelligence has progressed to that degree,
Right.
and I'm not too sure whether other sources of information are there, or it's only the Indian Intelligence Service that has given us input. So it is very good that the intelligence is so good, and more the crucial factor is that we are acted upon the knowledge that we have, and we have utilized our capabilities. We had these capabilities, but we didn't have the mindset, or we had not the heart to take that decision to hit, because one doesn't want these things to escalate, and this is not the end of the matter.
Right.
I don't think anybody in government or in the services think that, okay, now this is that, these guys will cow down. No, there's every possibility they'll hit. Where they will hit, just like we chose them at the point in time of our choosing, they will do the same thing.
So,
A point of time and of place where we are least expecting them.
right.
Now, what we did was, in this instance, we took 2 weeks. 12, I think, yeah. No, 14 was the attack, and 12 days later, we have
12 days later, yes, sir. Yeah.
we have reciprocated. Now, I expect that this will be faster. In any case, ours should be faster, because I believe it may have been, the Air Force may have presented their plans, or, they won't have given the operational details, but they would have told them, this is the type of attack that we can do, and these are the number of targets you can do at the same time. But then you need the government go ahead to say, yes, okay, go ahead. Because even at the highest level, you work on basis an operational plan on the need-to-know basis. You need to know, it doesn't matter however high you may be.
Right.
Is it essential for the success of this operation for you to know? If it is not essential for you to know, then no. Right. So in that case, I expect the Air Force would have presented some sort of plans earlier and said, hey, listen, we got this and we got various different methods. At that time, we will decide. But you go give ahead. We will wait for this intelligence. We will do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And you go ahead. Now, at that time when they went in attack, I don't know whether they had informed the government. Like if you remember, these guys, when the Americans attacked this chap who was the head of that...
Osama.
Yeah. When they hit Osama, you saw that, President
Obama. Yes,
President Obama and the Secretary of State, the lady, Mrs. Clinton, they were all watching this in real time, because not only were they attacking, but they were giving, aerial links backwards. And they were seeing in real time what the action has been taken.
Right.
Now, I think we had the capability of doing that, but I don't think we were doing it as such. I'm not too sure. But these are the possibilities. The technology today is galloping at one hell of a rate. Our skill levels are going up, and therefore what we have to actually worry now is that this is a one-off action. Right. It is a tactical action which has no, place in a bigger picture.
Right.
And there has to be a strategic plan that how are we going to move ahead. And for that strategic plan, it has to be unanimous. You cannot change it, a regime changes, the government changes, and then you change your views.
Right.
And there has to be, without exception.
Right.
You cannot default a nation when it's acting out, reacting to all actions. And any political dissension in this would be harmful, and I would say, in a way, anti-national. So I hope all parties involved in this issue, proceed with the greatest of caution and sanity.
Right.
You are endangering people's lives. You are doing things without knowing what the repercussions are.
Right.
So, it's not a game. This is real life.
Right.
So people have to have enormous maturity and wisdom that, hey, listen, don't oppose things unless, it really is harming the nation. And in fact, if you don't stand behind the government at this time, you are harming the nation. Because there will be things, and what we are talking to them, now, in a thing like this, when you start escalating, you must be ready. Once aerial action is taken, the escalation need not necessarily be incremental.
Right.
You go 1 step, I go 2 steps. You go 2 steps, I go 4 steps. You may go from, now we have taken up to say 10%, from 10% you can go to 100%.
So,
who's to guarantee otherwise? Because air power, the characteristics of air power are this: flexibility, speed, and power of attack. Right. So it can go immediately. You have to make sure that you're ready for every contingency.
So
now today we got enormous amount of deficiencies. Certainly the Air Force, from authorized strength of 40, was squadrons of 30 in my reckoning. Probably it's even less than that, because I don't
got cut in between.
So where was I talking? So I said, I was talking about the deficiencies in the Air Force and also the other two services.
Right, sir.
But naturally, I've been following the deficiencies in the Air Force particularly.
Right, sir.
Because in my reckoning, our ability to respond to any aggressive action, both from the north, that's from China, as well as from the west, that is Pakistan.
Right, sir.
Air Force has to be the fastest.
Right,
And
sir.
Air Force is the most powerful weapon against that, particularly in the north.
Right, sir.
And we cannot meet these contingencies with a half-baked force.
Right,
You
sir.
have to make sure that your deficiencies are. And today, if at all, the political debate should be and on how to get your deficiencies through. Can you imagine? You can't tell Pakistan, listen, we still can't decide, what we want to do. There is a lot of difference in opinion, and therefore, no, we are not ready for these things. They will hit you when you're least ready or least capable. And strength is the essence of capability. It's no good having the skills.
Right,
And you want having the technological capability if they are not in sufficient numbers.
right.
So numbers are very, very important. And please understand that even our authorized strengths are not really optimized. They're below optimized because, we say also, of course, we have to do, a whole lot of other things, economy, technology, education, people's health, care, even that. So the budget has to go into one whole lot of things. But ultimately, you want any freedom, you want to be able to dictate your own future, then you have to make sure that nobody else is needing you from outside. And for that, the armed forces are not a parasite on anybody, where some of the politicians sometimes tend to portray that, आप देश के पैसे खा रहे हो.
Right.
अरे पैसे खा रहे हो क्योंकि आपको सुरक्षा दे रहे हैं.
जी.
I mean, it is a unavoidable evil. I mean, you have to have this.
Right, sir. So,
And
as a former Air Chief of Staff, now at the current situation, what kind of a retaliation can you predict from Pakistan? Like,
I cannot predict, but I can say that I can talk in terms of possibilities. I cannot predict.
Right.
But they will do all sorts of things, and they can also attack with air power.
Right.
And whether they will go outside, come across the international border, or they will only talk in terms of crossing, the line of control and what you call it, the disputed area. We can't, but it can, like in 65, these guys were coming near at that time was, what was your ceasefire line? Later on, after 70, but the ceasefire line was changed into line of control.
Right, sir.
Now, at that time, when we attacked those tanks over there,
right,
we didn't, we never took into consideration that Pakistan may hit us somewhere else, and that's what they did. They hit our bases at other places. They crossed the international border, and we lost a whole lot of aircraft on the ground.
Right.
Because we just not prepared. We didn't think they will come across.
Yeah, right.
And
now,
therefore, you have to be prepared for all contingencies.
right.
If you're prepared, it will not happen. If you're not prepared, be assured it will happen.
Right, sir. Sir, one last question. The last question is, should India...
Very last question, very quickly.
Just last, sir. I'm so sorry I'm bothering you. Just last. Should India now continue to destroy terror camps in Pak based on our intelligence inputs to fight cross-border terrorism? Because we have so far waited until any terror strike takes place. So now should we move ahead? And if we have specific inputs about it, should we actually go ahead with that?
We should be prepared to do it. But for going ahead with it, it's not an Air Force decision. It is a combined decision,
right,
where you have to talk about what your intelligence says, what your foreign affairs say, what your diplomatic offensive that has taken place. So it's a matrix of a whole lot of inputs that come into it, and the basis of what you think, will you get an advantage with it or will you not? Now, we have to save their count out, because if there is something, and our intelligence is seeing whether these terrorist groups are they diminishing or are they increasing? Are they like the head of the Hydra, that one head we have cut off,
right,
but it spouts two heads somewhere else?
Right.
So if that is there, then you say, hey, listen, you guys have not learned your lesson, so I'm going to hit you. So right. It depends on a lot of inputs. It's not an easy matrix, or it's not a linear action. It's a multilateral action, or a multilateral consideration, may I say. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.